Hello everybody, my name is Johnson, and today I'm going to show you how to edit your buyer and seller guides. Let's go! So now that we are in the template link presentation, or in the presentation itself, the way that we go about editing the buyers and sellers guides is all we need to do is just click one of these links. So these top two are to view them just themselves, so not editing, and then these bottom two are to make it so that you can edit. So the same process applies for both the buyer and seller's guide. So let's just go and edit the seller's guide to show you how everything works. So we're going to click this first link. Okay, now we're going to go, and once you're in this window, all you're going to have to do is view template. From this window, this is where you'd be prompted to either create a Canva account or you're going to be logged into the Canva account that you already have. So I already have a Canva account, so let's just go and open it. So if you had to make a Canva account or you already logged in with your Canva account, this is the window that you will be going into once you're able to start editing. So this is the template. General things to note about this is any place that has a lock, for instance, those are not directly editable. So these are stationary items. So don't unlock them. They're meant to be there. Only edit the places that don't have locks. So I will show you where those are at. There's, for instance, a text box right here. And you can go and edit any of this content. Something to note, if you, for instance, delete this whole thing and you start writing, it's going to delete the formatting that's already been done. So what we need to do is you just need to directly edit in the spaces that have been provided. Okay. So for instance, thank you. You can go and start adding in content, and it's going to do the same formatting that you had before. Okay. For instance, with this, the name, you just have to do it on the spot. And essentially the trick is just highlight whatever you're trying to change, and then it will do it in the same font and the correct formatting. Okay. So we've changed my name around. We've changed around the text box. Let's go and change around the contact box. So let's go and add my name. Right here, you are able to add your phone number, for instance, as well as you can change your domain. Let's say your domain is super, super long and it is, overextending the ability for it to have the space. So I'm going to show you what to do if, for instance, your URL is too big. So let's just say this URL right here is too big, okay? What we're going to have to do is you just need to grab these corners and extend them out, and then you're going to be okay, all right? But how do you go and, for instance, take this little box and, adjust it? Well, there's kind of some workarounds to it, but for this use case, you have to go and unlock, just because we're going to make it so that you can make it so that the sizing is correct after you've already done everything. So all we're going to do is we unlocked that little lock on this icon. You just need to go and move it over now, just enough to make it so that you can have your information, your little domain, and it's not going to get squished. Okay. So for instance, we got it right here. If we want to make it so that it's, nice and close, there you go. And all you have to do is just go back and group it. And then you're able to adjust the size, and, depending on how it looks and whatnot, you can move the icon around and make it so that it looks centered to you. Okay. So now let's go and change this photo. So there's a lot of different ways to go and change photos in Canva. One of the easiest ways to do it, though, is to just drag and drop it. So for instance, we're going to go now and look at we're going to change this photo right here. How do we go and make it so that we can zoom in and out in certain spots? There's this little toggle right here. You can zoom in and out with that right here. And essentially, we're going to make it so that we zoom out a little bit, okay? And now we're going to upload a file so that we can have it. I'm just going to do a file that I have on hand so that it's just easier for the example. let's go and now drag and drop this. As you can see, if I go here and I'm trying to drag and drop it onto here, it's going to just create a big file all over the place. The way to make it so that it's going to go directly in the set box is, let's just zoom out a little bit. Now we have the space, we can still see our photo, and we can just drag that over it and it will automatically insert in. But now this leads to another situation. How do you go and readjust the photo itself? All you have to do is you double click that photo and you will be given the option to be able to move it around and adjust it however you need. But what if, for instance, the photo isn't exactly how you like it and you want it to be a little bit more zoomed in? All you have to do is just increase this corner here and you can do whatever you need to do in terms of photo positioning to make it work. Okay, so now we have the ability to edit all the contact information. We have the ability now to change out the photo. Now let's go and move to the QR code. So this QR code is created within Canva. So all we're gonna have to do to change it is, let's just go to apps over here in your left-hand corner. You have to click that. Let's go to QR code generator, okay? So QR code right here. All we have to do is click this first option. You're going to click that, and depending on if you've done this before or not, it will ask you to open an app. It'll ask you to open the app. So essentially, press open that app, and you'll be in this exact window that I'm at right now. So this current link is where this is going, okay? So let's just say I want to go and use this domain as this QR code. All I need to do is just go here, delete that old URL, type in the new one, and then it will update the QR code directly in there, and you won't need to move it around, change anything around, and it will be the updated QR code. So a lot of you are probably wondering now, what is this little, URL right here? This is a URL shortened version of the previous link that was here. So essentially, we created this tiny little URL that goes to the same place. But the reason why we did that is, sometimes clients will be looking at the URL and it's too long. And a way to make it so it's a little bit easier for them to access all of your different materials and your websites is you can shorten your URL, and that's exactly what this is. So let's go and show you how to go and shorten that URL. So we're going to go to a little website called Bitly. Okay. In here, you're going to be prompted to sign up. So we're going to make an account and we're going to sign in. So let's sign up. Let's do 0. Okay, so I'm going to make an account real quick. Right, later. Okay, so now we are in the dashboard for Bitly. All you're going to have to do now is you take whatever the desired URL or domain that you're trying to have this code go to, just go and type it into your destination URL. You go and you copy it within there, and then all you do is you create a Bitly link. And then this link right here is taking you to your desired domain, and all we need to do is go and I'm going to show you just so you can troubleshoot this. But if I highlight this and then I paste that link that I just had, this is doing what's called embedding a link. So essentially, it's making it so that link is then clickable, and then it goes to whatever URL you're wanting to go to. So essentially, the way that we make it so that we're not embedding it is all you do is you just delete that first link, and it won't be underlined. Now we have the link that we just got. One of the ways to make it even shorter is you can delete these up to the slashes over here, okay? And then we have the ability now to type in that link, and then it will go to the same place as the QR code, and it will make it just so it's that much easier to get onto your website and start finding all the information they need, okay? So now we've gone and edited this first page. We've been able to change the little text box. We've been able to change the names, all the contact information, how to adjust this if your domain is too big or whatever you're trying to link in here is too big, and how to move those icons around and make it so that it's all even and it looks good. We've figured out how to go and update the photo and the QR code and the domain that has been shortened. So now let's go and let's finish editing the rest of the document. So let's just drop in our new photo there, okay? And let's go and, for instance, with this one, let's make it a little bit, let's use a different photo. So now we have that there. For instance, if you're seeing that you can't move it around because your photo isn't allowing you, you could actually just increase the size of the photo and you have a little bit more room to adjust the different areas, okay? So there we go. We have the ability now to have that photo in there. Now you have the opportunity to go and change around any of the text here, okay? These bottom yearly sales, positive reviews, years of experience, these are all set features within here. You are able to change these top areas though. So, you know, the yearly sales number, you know, your percentage of positive reviews, years of experience, stuff like that, you're totally able to change that around. As for your name, you're able to change that around as well. So no problem there. This is your simple little about, totally able to go in and change all of that around. And then from there, all these other elements are locked. So you can see here, this top page, this is locked, this is locked, this is locked. And you can see this is unlocked. So let's go and edit this page. This is your area for all of your reviews. So let's say, you know, you have, you want to edit some of these reviews, okay? Some of these might be too big, for instance. Let's say if, you know, just taking this example, right? This one is pretty large. This one's pretty small. Let's say some of them don't align perfectly and aren't 100%, you know, perfect. All you have to do is just go and we can, for instance, unlock a couple of these, okay? And then we'll just group this items, okay? So they're all put together. So we'll group this, okay? And then all we have to do is just select and move this top little portion up. Oh, we've got one more lock to unlock. Okay, and then we can start to adjust our content to make it so that all of this stuff fits. Once again, don't unlock anything unless you really need to, but I'm just showing it to you because sometimes reviews can be longer than others. So I just wanted to make sure you know how to do that so that it doesn't look bad. And for those of you that are wondering how I'm selecting multiple things at one time, all you have to do is click whatever the item is, hold shift, and then you can click the other thing and it'll select both items, okay? And then from there, I can just group it and now these are together. Okay, and you can adjust these things to make it so that your content ends up fitting within here. Okay, all right. So one helpful hint: if this is a group, this is a group, and this is a group, and you're trying to make it so these are all perfectly spaced within each other, all you have to do is click one of the groups, hold shift, click the other one, go up to position. And then you can go and align it vertically. This makes it so that the spacing in between the items is perfectly spaced so that you don't have to try to manually do that, okay? So now you have the ability to input your reviews, and I believe this is the last page that you were able to directly edit, but let's go and check. So we have a lock right here, so you're not able to do it. Lock here, not able to do it. Lock here, not able to do it. And yep, lock here, you're not able to do it. So the pages that I showed you how to edit are the only pages that you're able to go in there and adjust the content. Besides that, you are perfectly good to go. Last thing, when you are finishing and you are all done and you're wanting to make a copy of this, all you have to do is just go to share, go to download, and PNG is only for digital use only, okay? So if you're gonna make if you're going to print these out, you have to make it so that you're choosing PDF print, okay? As a rule of thumb, I would go about and flatten the PDF. And if you have Canva Pro, you're able to do this. But if not, doing it in RGB value is perfectly fine. But if you're wanting it to be professional, perfect, the CMYK version is what is preferred for printing. However, it will automatically convert all that over when you just download the file. So all we need to do is just download, and then that will be in your downloads area on your computer. So besides that, we have covered everything that you need for editing your buyer and seller guides. If you guys need anything else, if you have any questions, just go and write me an email at sjohnson@homesincolorado.com. And let's say that these aren't exactly representing what you're wanting, or you guys need something else in the future that's a little bit more customized. Always feel free to reach out to me, and we can find ways to expand your marketing efforts. Now I'm going to show you how to print from a Mac first, and then we'll move to a PC. But for the Mac, all you need to do is double click here. From here, all we need to do is go to File, Print. From Print, if you don't already have the preset settings for the printer, get in touch with me and then I'll walk you through how to do all that. But for all those of you that do have that with Macs, all you need to do is select your Remax Alliance preset, select the printer that you want. From here, we need to go, and for the paper size, we need to shift it to tabloid. Okay, so it should be 11 by 17 inches. From there, we can see the layout change. We're going to go and right here in preview, we're going to write fill entire page. That's going to make it so it's filling the maximum amount of the page that we can. From here, we are going to go and toggle on double-sided. We need to just click on, but on short edge. Okay? So from there, that should be all of the settings that we need to be able to print this effectively. And all we do is send it off to the printer. Okay, so now we're going to show you how to print off of a PC. Okay, so, and it might look a little bit different on every computer, but it's all the same general rules that are applying. So it's now downloaded. Now we're going to go up into the top right and we're going to start printing. Click the printer icon. Okay, this window is going to pop up. From here, you just select your destination settings. Okay, and from here, we're going to go and change size. So we're going to go to tabloid. It should be 11 by 17. From here, all we're going to do is you're going to go and click the two-sided option. And when you click that, there will be multiple options, but make sure that it flips to flip on the short edge. And from there, you're going to just press print. That's going to pull up all of your accounting numbers, and you plug in your agent code. And from there, you're going to be good and you'll be printed. Okay, everybody. So we have officially printed the buyer and seller guides. The same concepts apply for both. So I'm going to show you now how to go and fold everything and staple it correctly so it looks the best as possible. All right. So from here, all we're going to do, and I'm going to try to make it so you guys can see the best that I can here. Okay, so we're going to go, just make sure these corners are as safe and as secure as possible. Okay, we'll line up the corners here. Line up the corners on the other side. Okay, and a lot of people do it differently, but I personally find this is the best results. Just leaning in on one corner, keeping these edges nice and tight. Then going in on the other corner and just slowly starting to get these planes to intersect. Okay. And now we got a nice clean edge, very clean edge. Sorry, you couldn't really see that. We got a very nice clean edge, as clean as possible. And we will go now. We have this. And at the Arvada location, you'll be able to find the extra large stapler that we're going to need. From here, all you do is you go and you make sure these are nice and flat and together, okay, and you're pushing the corners together. Everything is nice and solid. We're going to go and slide this guide into here, okay, and remember, all I did is I just folded it in half directly at the halfway mark, okay, so everything is now super aligned, everything's good over here. And I'm just gonna go and staple in that corner. And I like to go on the other side before I go to the middle, just so that I can make sure that everything is super aligned. And then you go for the middle. Okay, that way, when you're looking at it, the staples are on the inside edge, and you can barely notice it, and kind of helps it open up the book a little bit more. Gives it a little bit more of a nice halfway mark, so whenever you're in a pitch or something, you can kind of gauge where the content is based off of when you flip it halfway open. So that's nice. Besides that, you have a nice clean edge, and the staples are there, and the staples are on the inside of the book. And just like that, you have now finished your buyer and seller guide. Congratulations! You have learned now how to edit, to print, and to even make it in the best way possible. So, congratulations. If you ever need anything else, my email is sjohnson@homesandcolorado.com. I do everything from email signatures to billboards to websites to business cards, pretty much everything you can think of in your marketing repertoire. So if you ever need anything or you have any other questions, feel free to reach out, and I wish you all the best in your real estate journey and your marketing efforts. Have a great day.